Castlevania. Hello everyone, today we're gonna look at Castlevania Judgment. Hey, don't hit the camera stand, damn you. Yes, Castlevania Judgment. Why did it fail? Oh my goodness, unlike the last two games, there was many good reasons why this abomination failed. And it's not because it's a fighting game. That is not the problem here. While it was the problem for some people, so I guess you could consider that a reason to fail the drastic gameplay change. But, oh, so much. Where to begin? Well, I guess let's begin on that. It is a fighting game for Castlevania. It's as a time story, so many characters throughout the series get pulled into this. Now, so, immediately, if you're a very familiaristic fan of Castlevania games, you should be very, very recognizable to no one! Nobody looks like what the fuck they look like. I don't know if there's some of the characters. Okay, first, who is that? That's Simon! That is Simon Belmont there. Like, what the hell? And can we get some other pictures here? Please, some other pictures here. Here we go. So, okay. So, we got Simon, Alcard, then we got, Maria. Oh my goodness, what the fuck. Trevor looks like some kind of bondage freak. And then, that Eric from, Bloodlines, which, I started for a joke there. Sophie, yeah. And then we have Grant from Castlevania 3. What the fuck did they do? Random succubus. I mean, why the hell is the werewolf in here? I mean, the werewolf in the N64 game is not even considered part of the timeline. A golem, the chick from the DS game, and the new killer who's this time freak. And then you have Death. What the hell? And Dracula, which I guess Dracula and Alucard are probably the most normal looking people. But what the fuck? Hey, look at Death! What is he? What the hell? The character design, and this is no insult to the artist for Death Note fans, but the character design for this game and art was done by, well, the artist of Death Note. And, well, I'm not going to be on the whole bandwagon and comparing him towards his characters. I will say that he did not do justice to the Castlevania people, because everyone looks fucking weird from their actual designs. And then, the story. Oh boy. Now, this is probably not the most horrible criminal activity of the game, but I guess some of the characters like Grant did give us a backstory or some personality to. Because, I mean, let's admit it. How much personality can you put in an NES character? Not a lot. It's possible, but it's really difficult and tricky. And Grant did not have a lot of fucking special roles in the game. And nothing about his stories ever really been talked about a lot. So, in some respects, it adds a little. But at the same time, it fucking confuses the hell out of some things. Individual characters' problems. Maria has always been a joke in this discussion. Okay, so Maria's like, wait. Okay, if I know correctly, Maria's original age in Wonder Blood, she was 12. And in this, I think, she's 1 year older. If I remember correctly. It does not. Yeah, it says she was 12 during the incident, but it doesn't say her current age in this game. I think she's 1 year after that event. But Maria, what the fuck did they do, Maria? Fight Maria against the other girls, and you will get some fucking weird shit. Like, it's like, okay, basically, with Trevor's wife, it's like, they're huge! These things, they just get in the way. How can you say that? Those are sacred! And with, like, the succubus, is like, even the vampires is even bigger. What the hell? You're a 13-year-old girl! In medieval several times. I highly doubt your boob size was the first fucking thing people thought about then. I don't know. Like, it's just the fuck. The fuck. And then again, Grant. Like, his fucking... He looks like a damn mummy! Okay? He was like a fucking renegade pirate guy who climbed on walls. Where do you get this fucking mummy design? Okay. Now, of course, the other issue would probably be the balancement in the fighting itself. While I have no problem with it being a fighting game, fighting games can be interesting as a spin-off thing, but it certainly ain't a very balanced one. And of course, I will always admit that balancing a fighting game, or any game for that fact, is incredibly hard. I bitch all the time that World of Warcraft will never ever achieve perfection in its balance, and everyone will always bitch and whine that something's harder, more difficult, and so on and so forth. But this game is way whacked. There are some characters that are just way abusive in fighting, and the super power stuff is just a cheap way of quickly killing someone when you're in the losing favor. Now, interesting, the game does actually keep this sub-weapon system, where you can get hearts in a sub-weapon, use it against your opponent. And different characters use sub-weapons differently. So, that adds a little variety, but overall, as someone Lance-like fighter is kinda cheap. But anyway, for a single player, I'd say the game's not bad to play, but if you're doing it for a competition-like thing, I think you're gonna run into a lot more bitching than any Super Smash Bros. Competition you ever been to. Now, story. As I said, the story is a time thing, and it's slightly interesting and yet fucking batshit crazy. Okay, so basically, some Death Weeper from Time is coming to kill Dracula and buttfuck all time. So, this guy named N comes and gets y'all, and he tries to test whoever's the strongest to go fight this Time Weeper thing. And to get this, you basically have to play the entire game as everyone, and then we play it one more time as somebody already did. Once you do that, you will meet the final boss, the Time Reaper. Time Reaper is a cheap ass, but recognition of his attacks will lead you to success, which will lead you to some confusing dialogue unless you're an absolutely hardcore Castlevania fan. So let me grab my container of Game Boy stuff. Yeah? Yeah, you know where this is going, right, viewers, don't you? Some of you already know where this is going. Where are you? I know you're in here. You're in here, because I beat you long ago in a day and age. Well, Kid Dracula ruled the world. Yeah, we're going there. Kid Dracula. Now, in case you don't know, Kid Dracula is a kind of a joke reminiscence of Castlevania. Now, it's always been debated whether Kid Dracula is Alucard and if these games are part of Castlevania's storyline. Well, guess what? Judgment just made that argument a lot more in the favor of it is. The Time Reaper was sent by the villain of the Kid Dracula series, who, in Kid Dracula, wants to kill Dracula and take over his castle. Now, this Colossus dinosaur thing, it starts with a G. I can't remember how to pronounce his name, but he also appears in Symphony of Night as a boss in the inverted castle in Symphony of Night. So, it's kind of weird that, because when the Time Reaper dies, it mentions its name. So it just brings this whole weird time connection thing of insane. It's like, I don't know. It's all weird. So you just say Dracula's life for being assassinated in time, like Doctor Who killing Hitler or something, and time goes back to normal. Now here's something I'm confused about. Now in Japan, if I remember quickly, when Portrait of Ruin, where are you? Portrait of Ruin. When Portrait of Ruin came out, and Japan got a update. Well, actually, Japan and America got updated timeline, but they were both completely different. In the Japanese new timeline, the N64 games were removed, while oddly enough, in the American one, they remained. So that kind of makes me wonder, why is the werewolf in this? Because wasn't he removed? Or was he just put in there for the few fans the N64 game has? I don't know. The game has online. Good luck finding anyone. I never found anyone online. And it has like kind of a crappy mode like Soul Calibur where you got like a dungeon map thing you run through and kill people. Didn't seem too interesting. So, to be honest, I think it's a poor fighting game. It does no justice to the characters, and even questionably changes some of the personalities of some of the characters. I mean, Maria is a mess. Grant, while giving him a little personality, totally butt-fucked his art design. I don't really understand the whole thing with the golem. That's weird. Death looks like a disaster as fuck. And Simon and Trouble look like fucking bondage freaks. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. It could be a little interesting story-wise, but basically, I wouldn't touch this game if you couldn't get it for like, I don't know, 5, maybe 10. 10 is probably the most I would go for this. I wouldn't go beyond $10 for this. I don't think it's a really noteworthy entry in the Castlevania series. I think it's probably one of the worst Castlevania games in the series. It's just, I don't know. It destroys so many things. Story, character, looks, art, and then arguably changing the gameplay to a fighting game. But it's a spin-off game. That doesn't bother me as much. But some people it did. So anyway. Again, we're here to talk about why it failed. So, please leave a comment on why you think it failed. Any thoughts or anything you wish to leave below. Until next time. Oh my gosh! They're so huge!